Hi guys, Barbara here. Long time no see, right? But I am back and super happy to be here. So I've been meaning to record this video for a very long time, but circumstances have been less than ideal. And by the way, this expression, circumstances were less than ideal, means, the timing wasn't good, things weren't right. It was a very nice way to say that things weren't the way they should be. So circumstances weren't ideal. Because we've been moving a lot. We've been staying in hotels, holiday apartments, living out of suitcases, not always having the internet or a proper place to record videos for that matter. But now I'm back in Australia. So I am living in a town called Mandurah. It's in Western Australia. It's about 1 hour from Perth. And this is my new house. This is my new office. I've just started, as you can see, decorating my desk. And this is the first video I record here. So exciting times. I have so much to talk to you guys about, but I want to keep this video succinct. So by succinct, I mean straight to the point, right? Let's focus on the Bali story, and then the rest we can, do in other videos. So please make sure that if you have any questions about, my living in Bali, returning to Australia, or just, anything that you want to know about me, just write them here below this video in the comments and I will sure reply. Okay, so let's get started. So back in February, we sold our house on the Gold Coast and we decided to live in Bali for a while. We thought that living in Bali was going to be a great idea. And before I even get into the reasons why we decided to come back to Australia, I just want to make it very clear that I love Bali and I always will. I love that place. I have a very strong connection with Bali. I got married there. I made friends for life, some of my best friends there. I have the most amazing memories there. And it's always going to be a place that I will love dearly. However, living was a complete different experience. And this is my personal experience. This is my perspective on things. So please, I don't want anyone to get offended. This is just the reasons why my family decided that it wasn't the best option for us. But you guys can be sure that you keep seeing me going back to Bali time and time again. Okay? So first of all, our expectations were that we were going to have a lower cost of living, that we would be able to, live in an amazing house and have help, have a nanny, a cleaner, and a gardener, someone to clean the pool, maybe even a driver, and that would cost us less than living in Australia, right? The other thing is we thought we'd have better quality of life, that we would be able to go to the beach more, to explore the island, do amazing stuff with our kids, have time to catch up with my friends, go to the gym and all of that stuff. I thought I would have more time as well. The kids were going to be in school and they have a nanny, so I have time. And also, we definitely thought that we're gonna eat healthier, more veggies, more, someone to cook the meals for us. So we would, that, you guys know that eating healthy takes a lot more prep time, right? And prep time means, preparation. So it's a good expression, prep time, the time we spend preparing, peeling vegetables and all of that. Let me pronounce the word vegetables again, because I know that that's very difficult. I always try to insert a little bit of English in this video so that you guys can learn while listening to my story. So vegetables. So we don't pronounce the vegetables, veg. Just hold it there. Vegetables. So vegetables or veggies. Okay. And the main thing, one of the main things is I thought it was going to be so easy for me to work. I thought I was just going to get a room and, make it into my office and I would just work as normal. That was our expectation. The way things turned out were a bit different. So once we arrived, on the first 2 or 3 days, we already started looking for houses. And what we were seeing were houses that were falling apart, houses that had mold, green live mold on the walls, lots of rusty stuff, So the looks, the first impressions that we had of the places we looked weren't very good. And I'm talking about looking at 7, 8 houses a day with 2 kids in the car in a heat of 30+ degrees. So it was a very intense experience. And so we would look at, house after house, and none of them were suitable for what we needed, or at least what we were used. Like what we found is that in Bali, the houses are not very designed for children, at least not the 20+ houses that I looked at. The stairs are really, really high, meaning that they're more risk of the children falling off them. Not all of them have handrails, handrails on the stairs. And the ones that had the handrail, the gaps between the handrails would be bigger than Lexi, meaning that she could fall straight through it, right? Also, very high houses, with second floors. So mainly, like basically most of the houses in Bali, the enclosed living ones are 2 or 3 stories, and the grounded ones are open living. So the kitchens are outside, or the rooms were separated from the main house. So basically, the majority of rooms in grounded houses are independent rooms. So mainly it means that if 2 couples travel, both of them have a room with a bathroom and a door, right? So that you have privacy. But for children, that doesn't work so well, because children don't want to sleep by themselves. At least my children don't. And if your children do, please make sure you leave me a comment below this video telling me how you get your kids to sleep in their own bedroom, because we're still trying here. Maya is okay, but Lexi still wakes up at night and moves to her room every night, and she's 3.5 years old. So anyone that's got any good advice on how to get a child to sleep in their own bed, you're more than welcome to share them with me, please. But so those were the things that didn't work very well for us. That started, we rented a place, and then that was the situation with the rooms. They were separated. So we either left the glass door open, meaning that insects could get in, because we're in Bali, there's plenty of insects. Oh, and the air conditioning comes out, or you close the door and you don't hear your kids at night, or they wake up screaming in the middle of the night and they don't know how to get out. So those are some of those are like, I think that the bedroom situation was the initial problem, right? So because we rented a place and we were really, really happy with the place, but then that started being an issue with the room. Then, we started adding up the costs. So rental. So we were paying in Bali about the same as we would pay in Western Australia in terms of rental, about the same price. So about $2,000 a month it was a 4-bedroom. It was a very how can I say, peculiar. Peculiar is a good word. Peculiar, as in like different, unique style of house. It had 2 bungalows separated, and then 1 main building with a kitchen downstairs and 2 bedrooms upstairs, but no indoor connection. So to come to the kitchen, you would have to get out of your room, down the outdoor stairs, and then get a key to unlock the kitchen to get in. So that was a well-priced house, because majority of the places that we saw that would kind of fit our needs were about 2,500 Australian dollars a month to 3,000 a month. So that would be about $500 to $600 a week, for people that live in Australia and pay bills weekly. But then you add that electricity, which is about the same price as in Australia, if not even more. Water, the internet, the banjar fee, which is the community fee that you have to pay, the garbage fee, what else? A cleaner, because a lot of these places come with a person that already worked for the owner. So when you rent, you kind of have to pay the staff as well, so the staff keeps employed. But anyways, the bills turned out to be the same, or even more, because we had to pay school for the kids, right? International schools are not cheap either. We had to rent a car as well. So all of those costs, our starting costs were pretty much the same as in Australia, right? And if we wanted to go for luxury, like having the maid the cleaner, which I mean is the same thing, but the nanny, the gardener, all of those things add up. And the other thing is Bali is not as cheap as it used to be at all, at all. After COVID, prices have just really gone up. Okay, they have jumped up a lot, right? So the only thing I still found cheap was restaurants, right? Because in terms of supermarket, to keep living on an Australian diet, Westerner diet, you would be paying a lot more than here. So just to give you guys a comparison, I saw a punnet of strawberries. So you can say a box of strawberries, but the right word is punnet. Punnet. A lot of the times I forget these words and I end up just saying a box of punnets, a box of strawberries. But right now I remembered. So a punnet of strawberries, I saw one for $24, and the cheapest one I saw was $13. Yogurt. So 1 kilo of natural yogurt in Bali, I used to pay about $10 for 1 kilo. A liter of milk, $3.45. And you know, I could keep going on. Cheese, oh my god, I probably ate cheese once in Bali, apart from restaurants like in pastas and stuff, but like at home I probably ate cheese once, because 200 grams of good cheese would be about $8 to $10. So you really would have to adapt your diet, you know, to being local in order to really eat cheap. So that was another factor as well. I've got a little cheat sheet right next to me here where I can see the things. Also working, I couldn't really concentrate because Maya went to school for a bit, but Lexi didn't, because the school year in Bali ends in June and starts in July. And we got there in May, as you guys know. So Maya got to go casually for 1 month as a trial, and Lexi couldn't because they didn't have spots for her. So Lexi was home. We did have a nanny for a while, but I could hear Lexi screaming in the background the whole time. You know, my children are very loud. I wonder who they take after, but they're very loud. They scream a lot, you know, I think more than other children. I don't know, but I find it a lot. But anyway, so I could always hear Lexi. And if it wasn't Lexi, was the dogs next door, you know. And if it wasn't the dogs, it was the construction around, you know, the machines going. So Bali has always some kind of noise in the background. And as much as I am a very talkative person, and I know that, and also loud, I need quiet time. Like background noise drives me crazy. You know, like leaks when, you know, water is dripping, like I can hear that so well, you know, construction noise, dogs barking, all of that stuff happening in the background really gets to my brain. I don't know why, but that's the way I work. And those things just kind of like, it's like Chinese torture, you know, they start going and going, and then I cannot hear anything else but the background noise. So you guys see how I use but just then? Like I can hear anything else but the noise. So basically I could replace that but with I can hear nothing else besides the noise, right? So that but is used as in a gosh, I can't really think during these YouTube videos, but it's used in a way as in to say like I cannot hear, I couldn't hear anything else other than the background noises. But I said but, so I couldn't hear anything else but the background noise. Okay, so if you guys want to try to use that structure. Let me see what else. Oh, so basically, yeah, I mean, in terms of quality of life, I found that the streets were extremely dangerous to cross. So there's no sidewalks in Bali, at least not in the area that we were. We were up in a lot of the times in the Bukit, Uluwatu, Padang Padang is. And so there's no sidewalks for the kids to walk. The streets are extremely dangerous to cross. You gotta really pray, you know, like pray for your life and just go for it, run really to cross the street. I couldn't see my kids really ever riding a bike. Also, streets are very, very dirty. You know, everything is very, very dirty in Bali. There's no, you know, it's not like Australia where the streets are maintained and everything is beautiful. So I felt like I missed the organization. I missed the structure of a first world country. And, you know, just, you know, taking my kids to school, walking, that's something that was never going to really happen in Bali. I was never going to be able to do that. Also, closeness to the beach. In on the Gold Coast, we used to live about 3 kilometers from the beach. Here, I am 200 meters from the beach. In Bali, I was 7 kilometers away from the beach. So it was like, okay, well, we moved to Bali to go to the beach more, but we are super far from the beach, you know. So those things are not really adding up. And from a certain point on, we gave up because it was really stressful trying to make it work. And my husband was already set in coming back, you know, as an Australian who's always had his life very organized, you know, a stable job, a very traditional way of living. Like, I traveled a lot. I lived in my suitcases up until I met him, but he is not like that. You know, he's always been very responsible. He is the center of our family. He's the one who keeps me centered, you know, the yin and yang. And so he missed the structure a lot. And, you know, as a couple, sometimes you gotta compromise. So I knew it wasn't going to work. So it's not like we tried, and it didn't work. No, we basically decided to stop trying. We just said, no, this is not for us. It's not going to work. And we're like, no, we're better off in Australia. You know, our kids have free education. We have free health. I could keep going on with the costs because we also had visa costs over there, right? The visas were a fortune. So we would have to keep doing visa runs, you know, leaving the country and coming back. And the initial investment to actually renovate the house, to leave it up to our standards, we just felt that we didn't want to invest that in somebody else's property. A lot of the people who I met living there have built their own villas there, and, you know, rather than renting. But the rental crisis is real in Bali just as much as in Australia, and I think it's everywhere now. I have some friends in the States, my friends from Hawaii, telling me the same thing, that there's a major rental crisis in Hawaii as well. It's very hard to find a place. So I think it's kind of like everywhere. It is in Bali as well. A lot of people, surprisingly enough, a lot of people from all over the world have had the same idea as us, to move to Bali for a while, especially people from Russia and Ukraine, right? A lot of people are running away from what they're going through in their countries, and moving to Bali. So yeah, for us, it wasn't ideal. I could not, like, basically the business kind of stopped. Like, I didn't really work. In May, I did, because I was already running group number 4 of the Holistic English Makeover. So I finished that, but once that was finished, I was like, nah, I am done, because it was very, very stressful to run the lives, because, you know, I tried to do the group lives for my students during the best times for them, which is usually about 6-7 p.m. evening time when people finish work, you know, and get home. However, for me, that was about 5 p.m., which is, you know, 5 to 7 p.m. is the worst time for me personally, because it is dinner, bath, and bedtime in my house. So my husband does that by himself when I'm working. But, you know, realistically, it was in Bali, wasn't very good, because I could hear them the whole time. And, you know, kids are not as disciplined with daddy. So they try to get things their way and don't want to have dinner and don't want to get out of the bath. Anyways, you know, kids, there's always some drama going on when they have to get things done. So I could hear that, and that really disrupted my focus, because, as I said, you know, the background noise really gets to me. So I can't physically and mentally ignore what's going on outside my door, even though people are not hearing it. I am. And so I can see that things are not going well back there, and it's really hard for me to just be 100% where I need to be, which is with my students, doing what I do best, which is empower my people to be their best selves in English. So that was really tough for me. I felt that it wasn't fair on me, because I was extremely stressed all the time I was working, and it wasn't fair on my students either, because they deserved the best. So I did try to give them my best during the times that we were live, but I was really ready to, you know, take a break from work. So now I am back in full force, not at full force as of today, but I will be next week. Everything is back on track. I am opening group number 5 of the Holistic English Makeover. Our first live is going to be on the 22nd of August. So yes, we're ready to go. And if you guys are interested in knowing more, as I said, just leave me a comment here. You got my contact details. and I'll get back in touch with you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, if you guys have any questions, if I didn't explain anything that you guys were expecting, please leave it here and I will sure respond to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your patience in waiting for this video to happen. And I guess that the final message I'd like to leave here for you guys is that I 100% do not consider this as a failure. I consider this as a lesson. It was an amazing experience. The day that we decided, okay, from today on, we're on holidays. We're not going to try to leave anymore. We're going back to Australia. That's when I started enjoying it. And that was about half June, right? So the last 3 weeks, I'd say that we were there, we really started, having holidays. But the whole journey was an amazing experience. Don't be surprised if one day you see me moving to Bali, maybe when the kids are older, maybe because now we have a more accurate perspective of what it is to actually live there, right? I think before I didn't really have that understanding, but now we do. And I'm not saying I would never live there. It's just this time around, it didn't really work for us. So I guess next time I'll be better prepared and everything. But it was an amazing experience. The kids absolutely loved it. One of the things that I learned is that kids are extremely adaptable. They both loved every minute of it. They were not even aware of all the stress that we were going through with trying to rent a place to stay and just moving from one place to the next, to the next, to the next. But yes, I'm the kind of person that I don't settle for less. If the place is not exactly what I need, if it's not what I like, I will move, and that's just my nature, I guess. And yeah, I love who I am. I have accepted that this is who I am, and I try to make things work for me and for my family, and always try to give them the best I can, and everything I think they deserve, that we deserve. And yeah, that was my experience with Bali. So with that, I will finish this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure you do. Mwah! Talk to you guys soon. I promise I'll try not to take it this long to record another video.